Hi Libra, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you a tarot reading for your next 48 hours. Thank you so much for joining me. And I do want to remind you, as always, this is general, so just take what resonates. And thank you in advance for your likes, comments, and subscriptions if you haven't done so already. Join this amazing, strong Libran tribe. And what else was I going to say? Oh, whenever you're drawn or guided to this video, this reading, just recognize and keep in mind it's meant to pertain to the next 48 hours for you, not just when I post it, okay? So it's kind of timeless, but not. Anyways, the overall message I channeled for you from Spirit for the next 48 hours, the fighter within you, the fighter within you. They're saying naturally, all right? It's going to be a lot of communication throughout the next 48 hours. If not, you'll find or there will be a fast-moving vibe about the next 2 days, accomplishing a lot. With the Five of Wands, it may feel like a level of conflict within one's mind or surrounding you to a certain extent. People feeling a bit feisty, and at times you feeling a little bit feisty as well, a bit defensive, or preparing oneself to defend moving forward as you just desire a level of change in a lot of ways. Okay. We're pulling from the Modern Witch tarot deck, as I'm given the wrong deck from Spirit to keep it simple for Libra. The Two of Cups in reverse, you might find that there's a true focus, a center focus the next 2 days on a lack of connection between you and somebody, okay, for one reason or another, and just simply finding that you can't get your mind off of desiring more comfort financially, more stability, wanting that happily ever after. Some of you Librans truly wanting somebody who can provide you a lifestyle that you have felt has been unattainable or you just miss in one way, shape, or form. Things are truly falling into place for you, and I really do see a level of celebration on the horizon for you. And you're being reminded that the fighter within you, to accomplish what you need to be the best version of oneself, to acquire a level of justice, right, that feels owed to you by the universe or just other people, or if you feel as if you've just been wronged too many times or left in the dust or treated poorly, it's time for Libra to recognize that you deserve better. Just have patience in the next 48 hours. I can't say that enough. Balance oneself out, as your feistiness is a good reminder to oneself and others, but doesn't need to be used in the wrong manner, okay? A lack of a connection may, they're saying, piss you off. It might stress you out. You might also just find that you can't help but think about how time and time again, certain connections just don't work out in your favor. There is going to also be a focus in the next 48 hours for a lot of you Librans on a lack of trust. Whether it's in oneself, for a select few of you, your intuition, not trusting it, or the choices you'll make moving forward, or to make the best out of something. But for the majority of us Libras out there, it has more to do with a lack of trust in dating people, potentially even friends, okay, as well. Either way, it just feels like, again, people haven't treated you the best in the past, or have just, they're saying, stabbed you in the back, or been untrustworthy in a lot of ways. You know, you've start to trust them and then proven wrong by doing so. And so therefore it's hard for you to move forward gaining or just trusting anybody in general, okay? They're saying it's time to change that on both ends, okay? Wrapping oneself up with more trustworthy energies, making sure you trust oneself and your intuition in order to not move forward or even begin a connection with somebody who you know intuitively and instinctively is not going to do you any justice, okay? Or will do you wrong. It's part of the reason why the fighter within you comes out so quickly or so instinctively at times, and you don't mean to. It may just, again, create that level of defensiveness. There's a lot to remember or learn about oneself in the next 48-hour period. But with the Three of Pentacles, you're being noticed, okay? I feel like if you're single, you're getting a lot of attention from potential people, potential suitors, people who just see you as attractive, drawn to your passion, your feistiness, right? Your way of being in general. But I just feel as if also your work is gaining a lot of positive attention and development, and you're seeing things spiral in the right direction. All right, if you're an artist, I really feel like you're doing so damn well in the next 48 hours. If you're a public speaker as well, getting your voice out there is essential, and that's coming through. The way these are laid out here, it's kind of creating a bit of a triangle, but sort of a rainbow-esque way of being. I don't know why that came out. A focus on you needing to and deserving to be truly happy moving forward, especially in the next 48-hour period. Ace of Swords coming out. What do you desire as far as change? It's because you don't fit in somewhere, or you're recognizing you don't. You could financially be struggling or thinking about the battle with money up until this point and how to better change that, better develop your finances, your stability, to acquire a change or just to not stress about it. To not expect to or have to rely on anybody in that category, right? Wanting that independence, wanting to solidify and develop a level of stability for oneself and just say, I did it for me, right? And you could potentially also have others that you care about most, like family, kids, you name it, to do it for them as well. But there's just a very independent vibe about you, a push from spirit to keep that going, but don't allow that to develop a lack of trust for others moving forward, or more so of which, but also don't allow it to get out of hand as well, right? Don't overwork oneself. Don't make it easier for oneself to be extra feisty or extra defensive. Again, temperance. Remember I said I can't stress it enough. Have patience with this new beginning that you desire, with certain changes, even with oneself. I feel like Spirit's going to continuously push you to recognize or to put certain habits to end, to rest. The time is now to better oneself and to spend less money if it feels like certain habits are costing you too much. With the Four of Wands, again, things are falling into place for you in regards to the attention you're receiving, and that's all of which a reminder for you, okay? Horribly put, but you get the point. Your wording won't be absolute perfection, but it won't need to be. The imperfections about you, the relatability about you is part of why you're gaining a lot of attention through your business, project, hobby, or job. It's part of why your career is starting to spike in the right direction. Interesting. Why it's starting to bring you more money, more admiration, and more respect. That's part of why things are going to fall into place for you, and why you don't have to stress moving forward about where you want to move, what you want to achieve. And it just feels like, because things are feeling a bit heavy, whether it's your workload, the energy in the air, certain expectations on oneself or from other people, you're being reminded that your happiness is a must, period. What needs to be completed habit-wise, situation-wise, even relationship-wise, in order to seek that level of happiness. They're showing me somebody running through a field of, they're saying daisies, but I was more so getting sunflowers. And I just feel like you deserve that level of freedom and peace and contentment and ultra happiness that you feel like the world or the universe is stripped away from you from certain expectations, disappointments, and endings, right? And even new beginnings. As it all ties into who you're becoming, your self-development, remember that everything happens for a reason. You might want to watch the Taurus reading I just did, as I feel like you're being pushed to keep the hope alive, keep things confident, and recognize you deserve a wish fulfillment. Even if you're feeling a bit stubborn, if you look at that imagery, to tap into that very strong way of being about oneself, but in a very mature way. Don't forget about how much you've grown in that sense as well. It's the next 48-hour period that reminds you how different you are from past chapters that you've experienced, that it didn't work out perfectly in your favor, but also reminds you why you so passionately want to hop on your horse, your chariot, and just do what's right for you and embark upon a passionate fresh start that you so deserve in more than one way. Okay, So don't be surprised if in the next 48 hours you do behind closed doors get a little bit emotional, or you find yourself not feeling so up to socializing, or it just feels like a lot is happening in your head because you're going through a lot at this time. Your flashbacks to the past as well are a bit disheartening. All right, it feels like for some of you, you can't keep things quite secretive even if you want to, or you just find as if you separate oneself from your emotions and therefore never heal from them, or never sort of cope with them, deal with them, learn from them, and then move on. So it's the next 48 hours where you're pushed to when you're behind closed doors in your hermit mode, or with somebody or multiple people you truly trust and rely on. Deal with those emotions when they float to the surface. Don't discard them. Don't push them down. It's out of preparation for a next chapter, a new beginning that will help you make the best and not hinder it for oneself. Okay? Again, make a wish. What do you truly want? And heal those emotions, those wounds from that life has inflicted upon you. Some of those, they're saying dumbasses that you've dealt with, right? Out of respect for what you want to make successful moving forward, for oneself or for those you love the most, or both. Okay? They're saying, most importantly, do it for you. They're saying you owe it to oneself, excuse me as I struggle to speak, to kick ass in the next 48 hours and moving forward, to make a change in the most successful, confident manner, as a level of abundance will come through in a multitude of forms to remind you to keep moving forward, to remind you to keep that fighter within you alive, right? It helps you overcome obstacles and make the best, and show people what you're made of, but to do it in a strategic way, to do it in a mature way once again, and to remember who you are, where you came from, but most importantly, where you want to head. Okay? So this was a powerful reading. I hope it was truly helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Go have yourself an amazing next 48 hours, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Libra.